What is going on, everybody? What is going on, everybody? My name is JeffLightsYJr. here at the Black Boss channel. We have a special guest in the building, Mr. Kemari Averett of Bethune-Cookman College down there, down there in Bethune-Cookman in Florida. Kemari, how's it going, man?
Everything is going well. How about you, man?
Hey, I'm good. I almost called you guys something. I almost said the Wild Tigers or something. I don't know what I was about to say. I wasn't about to say Wildcats, but the Wildcats. Kemari, you were an FCS All-American. You were one of the best, if not the best, tight end at the FCS level, at college football level. But it hasn't always been easy, but it was amazing to see you back on the field. Just what did it feel like to have such a great season in 2021?
It was actually great, man. I have not played ball since 2020. I played in 2019, but I didn't finish the whole season. So I didn't play since 2020 season. When I first got here at Bethune, our season had got canceled. So it was like, dang, man. So it just felt good. I felt great going into camp, being able to suit up and play with our guys. And then after the first game, man, it was just like, I was just love doing what I'm doing. I was just doing.
Yeah, you were a treat to all the SWAC fans. I mean, maybe not a treat to their defense, but like to watch you play, everybody loved it. But let's take it back. You talked about not having to play for a while, but before we get into all of that, let's go back to your early days of football, man. When did you start playing football? Who was someone who introduced you to the game? How did all that kind of come about?
All right, so I was a young kid, man. I want to say between 4 and 6. It was that long ago, man. And I was just outside. I never really thought I was going to play football. I used to always just shoot basketball around. Never thought I was going to be a basketball player neither. But with football, my uncle actually had a friend, and he coached for the Jets. And then he was like, "Y'all want to play football?" And I was like, "Yeah." We was like, "Yeah, sure." And I remember my first time playing football, bro. I never played offense. Like, I used to tell my coach, "Don't ever put me on offense." Quick backstory. Okay, so when I first started playing, we was running, man, and a guy had tripped me. And I had wanted to fight the dude, but I couldn't. Like, the coach didn't let us fight. So
now, were you a big kid like during this time? Were you because you're a pretty big man? So were you a big?
I thought my growth spurt. I want to say I was average size.
Okay.
I was average size, and so anyways, dude tripped me, and I wanted to fight him. The coach wouldn't let us fight. And so he was like, "I got something for y'all. You familiar with the Oklahoma drill?"
Absolutely.
So we had to actually do the Oklahoma drill, man. And when I hit him, I made him cry, and I was like, "That's what I decided. That's what I decided. Like, yeah, I just want to play defense. I don't want to play no offense." So, since I was younger, man, I only played defense, strictly defense, until one day in practice when I was like, you know what, let me just try. So then I went against the whole entire defense, like we doing 101s, and I caught every single ball, like no exaggeration.
Now, how old were you at this time?
This was around the same age, just later on.
Oh, okay.
I was just like, oh man, so I fell in love with that. But the coach never put me on offense. He put me on offense after that. And then,
he wanted you to keep making people cry. That's what it was.
Yeah, I was a great defensive end.
Man, that's crazy, man. Like that, it's always funny to hear people's like story about how they got into the game, who introduced it, playing offense to defense. And so let's fast forward a little bit. You grew up in Atlanta. What was the football environment like, in your early years playing down there in Atlanta?
It was great, man, but I just never had a winning season. It was like I played for the Cascade Wolverines. I actually played quarterback then. I started quarterback around 10, 11-ish. So I stuck with quarterback all the way until my junior year in high school. But anyways, it was like kind of tough, man. But it was a vibe. Just growing up, all the childhood friends, we all go to the same school, and we got rivals. We all going against each other. So it was just fun, man. It was a lot of fun, actually.
Now let's talk about high school. You said you played the quarterback position. Were you a quarterback just simply because you were tall, you had a strong arm, you were athletic? What made you play QB even in high school?
Man, so like I said, I started playing quarterback rec ball like 10, 11, 12 years old, and I just loved it. In middle school, I actually played quarterback, and then as I go on in my career, I could throw the ball, but they used me like Cam Newton. I was literally like the jet sweep quarterback run, but I could throw. And then later on that season, I got moved up varsity and I played wide receiver and I played safety. And then my junior year, I transferred and I went to Grady. And Cam Newton's little brother, was the quarterback there. I'm not going to try to compete with this guy. Big name. So it was like strictly tight end, defensive end, wide receiver, and outside linebacker in high school.
Now, the tight end position, it's not a position like a lot of people grow up wanting to play. So you kind of spoke about, switching positions because you had a quarterback established at your high school. But what was it about tight end that kind of worked for you and kind of helped, made you decide to stick with that and be pretty successful?
Bro, if I'm being completely honest, it's just like a mismatch. Like, I'm unguardable, not like I'm trying to boost myself up in that.
Hey, call it what it is, man. The SWAC schools know.
Can't take me, a safety can't guard me, and a DB is way too small. So it's just like in high school, it was fun, like just doing what I love to do. And tight end, I ain't gonna say I'm not fast for a receiver, but it was like easier going against linebackers and safeties than it would for me to try to go out there and run 1,000 routes at wide receiver every down. And then I like being physical as well with blocking.
Hey, yeah, that works. Once again, we're talking to Kemari Averett. Now, I'm saying that right, Averett, or is it Averett? Which one?
Hey, you sound like a commentator, Averett.
Yeah, so it's what I thought it was Averett too, but I heard them say Averett on the broadcast. And I'm like, are they sure they saying that right? But it's like, okay, gotcha. I just wanted to make sure, man. So you're in high school, you're doing your thing. When did you start getting recruited? What was that like? When did the letters start coming in some of the big time schools that came to try to get you?
It was my junior year in high school, man, and it was like UAB was actually my first scholarship offer. I didn't know about Twitter until I got to Grady High School. See, like my school at Booker T. Washington, it was okay, but it was like it didn't have a lot of exposure like the schools at Grady. So when I first got to Grady, and I ain't never know about Twitter until my football team was like, man, this is the easy way to get recruited, bro. You gotta get on Twitter. Mm-hmm. Like, all right, I'm gonna do it. And I started getting on Twitter, and school started DMing me. And UAB, this was 2017, I believe, when a program had just came back.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
First scholarship offer I got, and then after that, I just started getting offers. And then Louisville offered me, and once Louisville offered me, man, Coach Galloway, he at North Carolina now, I believe, kept it solid the whole way through. Like I had other scholarships, don't get me wrong, like the Miamis, the Auburns, the Georgias. I just never was like a big time recruit because I didn't really know I had to go to camps. I had to report this. I had to report my offers to 24/7 Sports. I just wasn't big on that. So by the time I got big, like it was already Louisville. So it was like no point in telling my scholarship offers type deal.
I got you. Now, when you were playing, let's talk about some of the players and some of the teams that you faced in high school. Who were like some of the best players that you played while you were at either Booker T or at Grady?
Oh, so at Booker T, at Washington, man, and Tavius Rowe, he played at the University of Marshall. I don't know what happened, but that was like, other than Lamar Jackson, that was the best player I ever played with. Like I literally for at least 5 to 6 touchdowns in one game. He was like on another one, and like he'd just go get it. Like I'm just like, hold on now. Who else was good? Marlon Character was actually a solid player. That's who actually told me to get Twitter. Marlon Character played at Louisville with me too. He went to Auburn, and then he played at Louisville with me. Yeah, so him and we had Jacquez Sloan. The players that we played against, I played against a guy named Smoke Monday. He actually in the league right now. He played safety.
Monday.
Played at the University of Auburn.
Jacquez Sloan actually went to WKU. That's where I went to school at. So I know exactly who that.
That was my guy, man. And that, like, if you turn on his film, like this guy take a 80 yards bubble to the crib, man. So it was fun playing with him, and like we was going like a 1-2 punch. Like it wasn't no double team at me because we had Jacquez, and Jacquez can do what I can do, but he's much faster than me, and he will outrun you.
Yeah. So that's awesome, man. That's awesome. And so now you're at Bethune-Cookman. Just walk to me walk me through the process of getting back into football and how Bethune-Cookman kind of came into play.
Man, so at first, when I first heard about Bethune, they came through like recruiting. Like after the situation that happened at Louisville, it was a lot of HBCUs and a lot of Power Fives. But when the Power Fives found out what I got expelled for out of Louisville, they just washed their hands with me. When I first heard about Bethune-Cookman, I never even heard about the football program. About the dang band.
Hey, it's a lot of HBCUs are like that, especially during that time for sure. Yeah. So yeah, the bands are it.
I was like, they were like, "Well, you ain't heard about the band?" I'm like, "Nah, I ain't really interested in the band. I'm coming from." So, recruiting coordinator, which he still is here, Chad Lucas, man, he's just like Gallo, and he reached out to me and he was ready to give me opportunity, and I was just like, all right, I'm gonna commit, and I'm gonna be 100% committed with them. And since I got here, man, it's been nothing but love, respect. Actually helped me grow as a man by coming to Bethune-Cookman. Like I said earlier, I had worked a job, man, and I never really pretty much did that at the PWI. So it was just like, it was a process to where a growing stage, a healing stage, and it helped me like it helped me mold and build to the man I am today. Type of deal.
Absolutely.
Football, it was just like, don't get me wrong, it was different. Like from the weight room to the protein shakes, everything was different because the funding, money is kind of different at HBCU. So I was kind of expecting the same thing from Louisville, like at Louisville at Bethune-Cookman, but it was totally different. And I ain't had no problem with it. And it was like, shit, you got to deal with it now. You got to bounce back. And this is what you go work with. No complaining. So that's pretty much what I went through.
Absolutely, man. So you talked about, I mean, we spoke off camera, but you got to Bethune during the COVID time. Just what was that kind of like for you, having to adjust, getting back into college, and then boom, you get the COVID mess that's happening. What was that like for you, man?
Man, so I was grinding, actually, man. I was working my butt off. Like I was depressed when I left Louisville, and I gained like so much weight. You probably would have thought I was a defensive end or an offensive tackle. Weight I gained. So anyway, off season I was just grinding. I was getting back into mode, and I was like, it's gonna be the best season I ever have in my college career. I got down to at least like 250. My body was right. Everything, man. I put the work in, and then for them to tell us that we wasn't having the season, I was just like, dang, man, I didn't put all this hard work in, and I can't even show my talent. I can't even get out there on the field. I was just so anxious to get on the field. But then again, everything happened for a reason, man. Like I say, you see what happened in the 2021 season. That was like a little snippet, because this upcoming season, I'm going to show everybody what I can really do.
Now, let's talk about the 2021 season, man. When did it kind of click for you? You know, I mean, even you had your time at Louisville, but you didn't really get to get on the field like I'm sure you would have wanted to. So your first time really like in a starting role, consistent role, I mean, you dominated All-American, like you dominated. What was it about last year that kind of clicked for you, even with the changing of quarterbacks and maybe not winning as many games as you wanted, but you were still able to go out there and dominate every single week?
Honestly, coming from Louisville, learning how to study film, learning to play football. My skill set already there. I just needed to learn how to play football. And coming from Louisville to Bethune-Cookman, the game kind of was slow to me, and it came to me as I wanted it to. I wasn't forcing anything out there. It was just coming to me. Film studying with the quarterback. The quarterback situation really don't matter, because a baller, he gonna ball regardless, man, no matter who at quarterback. And I made the best of it. I ain't gonna sit here and lie to you and tell you that I put the work in, because I had to work. So it was like training. It was kind of tough because I still got to make money to pay for rent.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like I couldn't get the training that I wanted to put in. But don't get me wrong, I still worked out. But I wasn't, like I said, I wasn't the best version of me this season. And this off season, I was able to pay up my rent for the whole summer. So now that I'm working and working out like consistently, I know I'm gonna have a way dominant season than last season.
Man, that is so, like, once again, we're talking to Kemari Averett of Bethune-Cookman. Be sure to hit that thumbs up button. Kemari, it's crazy to hear you say that, man, because you're saying that, like, after practice or before practice or whatever, you like work a job. Like you were out there, like when you say I had to work, like I had to go to work and then still go to practice or didn't still go perform on Saturday. It's just, I mean, for someone who works but I don't have to go do that. Just what was that like? I think you touched on it a little bit, maybe even when we were off camera, but to work a job while also still going out there performing. I mean, you sound disappointed, but we watched it. I'm telling you, the SWAC defenses weren't disappointed about your performance when you played against them on Saturdays. But what was that like, that adjustment like for you coming from this PWI Power 5 and then having to actually work a job and still going out there and putting up the numbers you did, man?
Man, I tell you, it was tough, man, but it was like all motivation. It was like I have a 3-year-old little boy too. I didn't so like me knowing that I gotta make a way and I gotta end up feeding this is another mouth I have to feed, and it was just all part of the process. I mean, what was I gonna do? Not work. I still gotta live my regular lifestyle, but football is actually something that I'm trying to make my career in life. So it's like, shoot, you can't complain. You gotta just do it. This ain't something that you can just complain about, fam. You gotta just stick with it. The struggle don't last forever, and that's something I know. And my faith is highly in God, and I know for sure that God does everything for a reason, and He got my back.
Sure. Amen to that, man. Amen to that, man. But I want to let's talk some more about the 2021 season, man. What did you feel like? What was your best game? Who was it? I mean, I'm looking at the numbers now, and you gave a lot of people the business. 109 catches, 140 on Alabama State, 4 for 94 on South Carolina State. 150 against Mississippi Valley, 115 against Prairie View, another 92 and 2 touchdowns against Alcorn. What would you say was the standout performance of your best game of last year?
I never really got off the field, and I just played with physicality, and I just played with anger. Everything that happened to me, I told you, it fired the field. Like, it was the field to the fire, man. I just played with pain. Just everything that ever happened to me, I gave it my all during football, and I feel sorry for anybody who lined up against me, anybody who came in front of me, and that's what I did the whole season. Either some games, if you cut up the film, man, I was getting triple teamed by people, and it was kind of challenging, and it was getting frustrating when the quarterbacks wouldn't look my way because I wasn't realizing until I had to go back and watch film that I was being triple teamed with box coverage and me. Double teaming me with a safety over top. And it started happening like later on in the season, but it was tough. Like if you go back and watch that Mississippi Valley State game, they aligned a cornerback up and then the safety literally right on top of the cornerback. But yeah.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Now, Kemari, you guys have brought in some more quarterbacks. Jalen Jones, I've had him on the podcast. I'm excited about what he's going to be able to do. You also brought in some good talent. Coach Terry Sims doing work. You talked about the last season. You almost saying it like, that is nothing. Wait till you see me this year. What are some of the things you talked about being able to train more extensively, but what are some of the things you're looking forward from yourself individually during this 2022 season?
Improving my blocking, man, controlling myself as well, because we had a losing season last season. So I just hate losing. Like I told you, man, I've been losing since I was a young man. I've been taking a lot, man. So it's just like, becoming a better leader on my team instead of being like a show me leader. I want to become a leader as well. Like, this is what you have to do to become this. Actually, I have to work on my routes as well. My speed, like just all the stuff I'm working on, like on the off season. My strength. So I have gotten better at everything I'm naming. That's why I'm excited to see what I'm gonna do.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely, man. Kemari, are you got any NIL deals, any kind of apparel, anything like that? Or is anything going on?
Nah, man. I just been sitting at home working out.
I didn't know I was gonna shout it out. Make sure you get, because I want you to get all the money, all the resources that you can get possibly. Like, wish you the best of luck, man. But before we get out of here, just one last thing. Just if you have a message to the people, the Bethune-Cookman fans, of what they can expect from Kemari, what they can expect from the Wildcats this upcoming season, sir, the floor is yours.
I just want y'all to know, Wildcat fans, that y'all go get everything. This is a revenge tour for the whole Wildcat family. We have brought in recruits. We may not be the Jackson States where they getting our 5-star recruits, but we got some people, and we ain't really too flashy with ours. We got a lot of talent undercover, so y'all just wait, and we gonna make it work this season, rain season for sure. And y'all got out of me last season, y'all will get way more out of me this season.
Absolutely, man. Once again, it's Kemari Averett. Hey, Kemari, best of luck to you, man. Thank you so much for spending a few minutes with me. Good luck to you next season. Thank you all for